Hi, it's James Taylor here. Someone was asking me the other day about my daily rituals, what I can do every day, how I structure my work day. I read a recent book by a guy called Mercury called Daily Rituals, and I highly advise that you check out that book. And it has the daily rituals of everyone from Mozart to Steve Jobs to people from all different kind of backgrounds, a lot of kind of creative types as well. So what I thought I would do is just film this very quick video, just kind of giving you, how I structure my day, what my daily rituals are. Hopefully it's useful to you. I would love, at the end of this, at the comments below, I would love to hear what your daily rituals and maybe how they've changed over the years, because my daily rituals have certainly changed over the years as I've started to take on more projects and be involved in different types of businesses. Let's get to it. I usually get up about 6:30. I'm not a natural early riser. I was always a bit of a night owl, and kind of still am, but with all the things I have to do, I feel I have to kind of get up a little bit earlier than usual, than I would possibly like. So I'm usually up about 6:30, and that first hour of my day, I remember reading Tony Robbins' book or listening to one of his audio books years ago, and he talked about this hour of power, and I'm a great believer in that. I'm a great believer in the idea that first hour in the day when the house is quiet, no one's around, that's my time. That's the hour for me where I can really focus on just nourishing myself. So everything, I get up, have a quick shower, I have a cup of English tea, English breakfast tea, as I'm in London, do as in London. Strangely, when I used to live in California, I always had coffee every morning, but now that I'm in London most of the time, I have tea. Don't know quite why that is. So I have tea. I usually have some bit of toast with some honey on it, and then after I do what I call my morning pages. And in fact, I think I may have it just here in this chair. Yep. So I have this little book. I have lots of these little books, and every morning what I do is I sit down and write 3 pages of longhand writing, really top of mind, stream of consciousness stuff. So this came about from reading a book by a writer called Julia Cameron, and funny enough, I know a lot of writers, a lot of screenwriters, a lot of artists who do these, what we call the morning pages. And this is where you sit down in the morning and you write 3 pages of longhand, just top of mind stuff. The way I feel about it is, these pages will never be read by anyone. They're just for me. So it's a mixture of a journal and just kind of getting stuff off my mind and just kind of writing it down. But the other thing it does for me personally, and I have spoken to a lot of other writers, they say this is, it's great for them, is that it's writing is like a muscle, or creativity is like a muscle, and this initial, it might only take 10 minutes or a couple of minutes to write these 3 pages, but it just gets that muscle working. It's a little bit of a stretch, morning stretch. So that's really what I've done in the first hour or so of my day, 30 minutes, an hour of my day. Then I kind of sit down and here in my home here, or if I'm away, and I like to either film. I'll do a video. Usually I've written maybe one of these kind of cue cards the night before, and I'll sit down and I'll film a quick video similar to the one you're watching just now. Sometimes I'll be filming. Other mornings what I'll do is I'll switch over and I'll be writing. I'll write usually from 500 to 1,000, maybe 1,500 words in the next hour. And what I do if I'm filming, just so you understand my kind of workflow, is I take this little card that's in this camera just now, I put it into my computer, I take that video file, I upload it to Dropbox, and then my executive assistant and my video editor and my content writer go to that video. The video editor edits the video, adds the bumpers on, anything you need to do, does any kind of fancy graphic stuff that he needs to do on that as well. The content writer will transcribe out what I've said on the video, and then my executive assistant, or something called GVA, she will then create a blog post around this, and the video editor also uploads it to YouTube for me if it needs to go to YouTube. And very quickly, within the space of a day, I've filmed this video. It's only taken me 10 minutes to film the video, but it's kind of gone out, and my executive assistant then tweets it out and does social media with it as well. So that's the next kind of hour of my day. And then what I tend to do is take about half an hour to look at my tasks for the day and just kind of work out what's happening for me that day. And really, what I'm trying to do is identify what my 3 top tasks of the day are. On a Monday, I'll also establish what my 3 top tasks for the overall full week are as well. And once I've got those, I'm usually at the door. I'm 25 minutes from my office here in London, and so I head into the office. Usually when I'm on my way to the office, I'm listening to podcasts, or because I work with a lot of music artists, they've sent me maybe advanced recordings of albums to listen to, or I'm listening to Spotify as well. So that's really that kind of 30 minutes is me just kind of taking in some other kind of content as well. When I get into the office, before I do emails, before I respond to calls, if I do anything, I spend that first 30 minutes with a cup of coffee this time. I spend that first 30 minutes working on my most important task of the day. This is the one task that if I feel, if I can complete this task, then the rest of my day has been worth it. So I tackle that task first before anything else gets in my way. It's probably worth noting here that at this point I still haven't looked at my emails. I still haven't probably picked up messages. I certainly haven't been on social media. My executive assistant, she goes through my emails, my inbox every morning, and we have a document which she can go through, and if this then that. So if it's this kind of email, then do that. Then if it's this kind of thing, then do that, then forward it. And so she really has a couple of options. She can either respond to the email, on my behalf. She can delete the email, or she can archive it as well. And if it's none of those things, then usually if I get about 200 emails a day, then by the time I get into the office and actually look at emails, that's probably down to about 30 emails that actually need my attention. If you've never used a virtual assistant, I highly encourage you, if you can, do that. It saves me hours in my day. I used to spend all my time in my email inbox. Now, not so much really. So that first half hour, so from 9:30 till 10, I work on my most important task of the day. And at 10 o'clock, I have my call, my team, first team call, where we have a briefing call with my online education business, because I really have like 4 different main businesses I'm involved in, and so this is like the online education, music education business I'm involved in. So we have a call. There's usually a couple of us on the call, everyone from my executive assistant to my director of content to our folks in Asia who are working on maybe some content related stuff, to our software developers who are in Eastern Europe, so we usually about 5 people on that particular call. And I ask 3 questions of everyone on that call. What did you accomplish yesterday? What do you intend on accomplishing today? And what is holding you back? And we kind of go through that for everyone as well. And I answer those same questions myself. So that call will normally take 15-20 minutes. I don't intend it being a long call, and we do it by Skype, and then we're out. And then the rest of that morning is really me dealing with my 2 other most important projects I have for that day. I try not to do calls in the morning. I tend to really try and maybe focus on a chunk of work I can really kind of get my head into. It might be reviewing legal agreements that I need to look at, or it may be maybe strategizing on something that we're a new product launch that we have going as well. Then usually around 1 o'clock I break for lunch. I have the same lunch every single day. I'm incredibly boring that way. The reason is I have an office, I have a cafe in the building in the ground floor on the first floor of our office, and I go there and I have a veggie burrito every single day. Incredibly boring as a lunch, but it points to a larger idea, which is that like most people, we have all these decisions that we have to make every day, and my personal opinion, if I can take one of those decisions out, what do I have for lunch, that's a little bit of brain space, no matter how small, I can devote to something else. So I have the same lunch every day. I'm a European. I take an hour for lunch. When I used to work in California, the people were aghast I would take an hour for lunch. But it's what I do. It's kind of who I am. It gives me the ability just to press a bit of a reset button, to think maybe about stuff I've been working on in the morning, to stare out the window, to daydream. That's kind of what I use my lunch for. Sometimes I'll have I'll have some work colleagues who'll join me as well. Then in the afternoon, from about 2 until 4, I'm in non-stop meetings. In any one week, it's not unusual for me to have around 40 meetings over the course of the week, and these may be in-person meetings, or they may be Skype meetings as well. As my assistant knows, I dislike meetings. I hate in-person meetings. I love being with people. I just find that most in-person meetings are a complete waste of time. So what I tend to do is, my assistant knows that my preferred form of communication is by email. Like, if someone wants to meet with me about something, she has them, like, we'll put together a one-page or an email, exactly what you want to know, what you want James to give you feedback on. If that doesn't work, then she'll schedule a Skype call with me, with the person. If they really want to meet, then they can come into the office and I can meet them in person. Or if I'm traveling, then she organises that as well. So that kind of goes from 2 to about 4. 4 o'clock, I'll have another call. This is with my second team. So I have my morning meeting is with my online education team. And then my second meeting, my second briefing meeting later in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock, is with my own personal team. So I have a team of 4 assistants now, and they are everything from writers, content writers, to video editors, to SEO, online marketers as well. So between them and my assistant, we jump on a quick call. About 30 minutes, I ask the same questions as I asked in the morning meeting with my other team of, what did you accomplish yesterday, what are you accomplishing today, what's holding you back, and we kind of go through those things. So that's usually the 4 o'clock meeting. Sometimes we wouldn't have to do that every day. We'll definitely do that on a Friday at the end of the week. Sometimes that 4 o'clock meeting is just a call with me and my assistant, where we kind of go through how that team is getting on, if anything's holding them back. Because we're churning out a lot of content. We're creating a lot of content all the time, and I need to make sure that everyone is knowing what they're doing, so I can do what I'm pretty good at, which is maybe doing this on camera, or writing, or strategizing, or coming up with ideas for new products. So that goes through to about 4:35. And then after that point, I really spend the last hour of my day maybe doing calls to the States. I have a lot of business partners in California and in New York, so I might be on the phone with them. And I try and take the last couple of minutes, 10 minutes of the day, really kind of reviewing what's happened that day, creating any new tasks that have to be created, and really kind of setting myself up for the next day. So I'm normally at the office by 6 on most days. And then I head home, I have a quick snack, and then I go actually straight to the gym. And I'll either be it'll be a yoga class, a spin class, it'll be some kind of workout of some sort. Come back, have a shower, come back, and then it's usually dinner at home, or we're very fortunate here because I'm in London, we have incredible restaurants, and so I like going to different Thai restaurants, Indian, a lot of Asian food as well. So that takes me up to about 9 o'clock, and then that last hour and a half of the day is really where I just kind of sit down, maybe a glass of wine, maybe do a little bit of reading, and I've tried to be to kind of have a meditation ritual, to do meditation every night, and I kind of struggle with it. So I'm still, if you have any tips for how to meditate on a consistent basis, I would love to hear that. Leave the comments below. I haven't yet managed to do that. It's something by the end of the day, all I want to do is maybe have a glass of wine and sit and read a book, and that's just me as well. If I'm not doing that, then I'm a big movie buff, Netflix, love Netflix, and so I'll sit down and watch Netflix of an evening as well. So I'm usually asleep by 11 o'clock. I love my sleep, so because I'm up at 6:30 the next day, I don't want to be staying up kind of too late. Occasionally I'll break this, and this is the point. If I'm doing this, Monday to Friday, sometimes what I'll do is maybe every 2 weeks or so, I'm just going to go. No, and I basically slate out the whole day, and I do something completely different. I go to an art gallery. I go out, go out walking. I meet with friends. It's important from a creative perspective that you're always getting new inspiration. You're always picking up on different things. You're looking for connections between different ideas. You're just feeding that creative part of you. So while I can be highly productive in doing the daily rituals I spoke about, you also need to take time where you can just take a step back, get fresh inspiration, whether that's reading, going to galleries, interacting with people you might not necessarily interact with usually during the course of the week. Just getting inspiration, really. Those are my daily rituals. Thanks for my friend who asked me to do this when he asked me the other day about these daily rituals, so I thought I would film this quickly. I would love to hear what your daily rituals are, and also I would love to hear how they've changed over the years. My daily rituals have changed now that I've got a couple of different businesses I'm involved in. I'm managing multiple people, multiple teams. I had to kind of adapt it over time. So what works for you? How have you found integrating both rituals in your life and at the same time being a creative individual? So my name's James Taylor. Hey, it's James here. Did you like that video? If so, I'd love to continue the journey, and there's 3 ways you can do that. Firstly, you can click on the subscribe button, and this will subscribe you to my YouTube channel where you get the weekly updates, weekly video updates. Secondly, if you click on the link, you'll also get my free video training series, and that's where I share the latest tips and techniques on how to become more creative. And finally, thirdly, I'd like if you were to go to my website and sign up for my email newsletter, where I also share lots of new products that are coming out, some free video series, some free training that I'm constantly providing. So it would be great if you did one of those 3 things just now. See you on the other side.